Hello, everyone. So, I welcome you all to the first lecture on high performance computing. And this is the lecture one for high performance computing. And in this lecture, uh, I'm going to discuss about, I will first give you a brief introduction about high performance computing. Then we discuss the syllabus of this subject, that is high performance computing. And going on, we discuss about what is parallel or high performance computing. And going on further, we discuss about evolution of parallel problems. And next, we discuss about need for parallel or high performance computing. Then later on, we discuss uses of parallel or high performance computing. And finally, in today's lecture, we discuss why we use parallel or high performance computing. So first, we start with the first topic that we start with the brief introduction about high performance computing. So in this subject, we are going to discuss uh, how to design an algorithm to solve complex real world problems, and what are those complex real world problems, how their algorithm will be designed, and then on which computational model these algorithm will run. So basically you need to know about what are different type of computational model, what are different type of computational problems, and what are traditional problems, and what are traditional algorithms, and what are high performance model or parallel model, and what are high performance algorithm. So you all know about computational model, that is known as sequential computational model, and you have studied this topic in your subject computer architecture, in algorithm design, in compiler design, and so on and so forth. So I will give you a brief, first I will give you a brief introduction about uh, a sequential computational model, that is known as random access model. So you can see this is the random access machine model of serial computation. It was designed by Aho, Hofcraft, and Ullman in 1974. So this system or this computational model consists of three basic components. The first one is read-only input tape, and the computation model consists of number of component like location counter, and the most important component is the program which is needed to be executed, and this program must be loaded in main memory. And there is a CPU, and along with CPU has number of computational register like accumulator and other register which is used to transfer the data from input tape and perform the computation, and then again it give the results to the program, and the program write the result in for displaying on some write only output tape. And there is a location counter, so which points to the instruction which is being currently executed by the central processing unit. So as you all know, in sequential computer, instructions are executed one after another, so it does not allow concurrent execution of instruction. So location counter is a pointer which points to the instruction which is being currently executed by the central processing unit. And a location counter, the instruction which is needed to be executed if it wants to read the data from user, So user provide the input data, and that data is stored somewhere in the buffer that is known as read-only input tape. Program read the data and then transfer the data to some CPU register, and that is accumulator, and where these registers are also used to perform the computation, like the different type of operation that we perform in a program, like mathematical operation, logical operation, or different type of other type of operations. And once we perform the operation and then we want to produce the result of the program, then that result must be written somewhere in the buffer to be displayed on your display unit. So this buffer is known as write only output tape, and it writes the output of your program. So this is the basic computational model, and this is known as serial computational model. And this model are used to solve traditional scientific and engineering problems, and where we have the limitation that we cannot solve more and more complex problem. But today, in today world, we are facing a lot of real world application problem, and these type of problems cannot be solved on a sequential computer. Even we can provide the solution, but when we want to run the algorithm for those solution, it requires huge computational resource, such as high performance CPU, and a high performance computational CPU, and a high storage requirement, which require more and more storage in terms of petabytes, in terms of zettabytes, and the system which require high performance computational power. That power may be a teraflops, petaflops, and zettaflops. So today we talk about zettaflops and petaflops. So going on, so next type of computational model, this is just for your basic idea, then we discuss in detail in next lecture. So this is this model is another type of computational model that is known as parallel random access machine, and it was designed in 1978 again by the Hofcraft and Ullman. Mm. So this is your parallel random access machine model. So you can see parallel random access model consists of multiple processor numbered as P1, P2, PP. Each processor has its own local or private memory, as we have seen in random access machine, and these processors are connected with some interconnection network. Along with each processor is having its own private memory. Each processor share a common global memory that is known as shared global memory, and there is a control unit which controls the operation of shared global memory and the processor as well. So these are two basic type of computational model. And what are the objective of computational model? That they are used to analyze the behavior of algorithms. We all know, we have studied the design of algorithm, and where we discuss different type of algorithm, traditional algorithm, and we analyze the performance of algorithm by identifying some of the component, like what is the runtime of any algorithm, what is the storage requirement of any algorithm, and so on and so forth. So in parallel computing, we basically we discuss some of the complex problems which cannot be solved on sequential model of computer. and they require huge computational resource, such as huge amount of computer memory and huge amount of computational power in terms of teraflops, in terms of petaflops and jetaflops, and it require petabytes and zettabytes of computer memory. Going on, so again we discuss how the different algorithms are designed that runs on these high performance systems, and how we can design the algorithm, what are the criteria for designing such an algorithm that runs on high performance system, and then we analyze the behavior of these algorithms. So this is the basic or brief about high performance system. So going on, next we discuss for your information. I'm giving you the brief of the syllabus. So in this subject you are going to study. So this is the syllabus that you will study in this subject. So there are 5 units, and in first unit, you can see there is a sequential model, and there is need for alternative model and parallel computation models such as PRAM, LMCC, Hypercube, and other type of structures such as cube connected, uh, butterfly network, shuffle network, tree model, pyramid network, and other type of model. Then going on, in second unit, we study some of the examples of parallel algorithm, and what are different measures of performance of these algorithm in terms of time complexity, in terms of optimization, in terms of speed up and efficiency. And then we compare whether these algorithms are cost optimal or not. So how we can make it these algorithm a cost optimal algorithm, because cost is one of the important uh, parameter in designing an algorithm. So going on, we on next unit we discuss some sorting algorithm, which we study in high performance system, and then we discuss different type of sorting algorithm such as sorting network and merging algorithm that runs on different type of high performance system. So here you can see there are some name like CREW, EREW, MCC, and other type of system. So in this subject you frequently encountered with these terms. So CREW, EREW, and MCC are nothing but they are a form of parallel or high performance system, and CREW stand for concurrent read exclusive write, means a system which can read multiple data simultaneously, algorithm which can read multiple data simultaneously, but it write the result, it allows to write only one processor the result in shared global memory, so exclusive write. So this is an example of high performance system. Second is EREW. EREW is exclusive read, exclusive write, and MCC is another type of parallel system that is also known as CRCW. So CRCW is concurrent read and concurrent write. So in this subject, we discuss different type of algorithm. One such example I have given you, the sorting algorithm, and we discuss different type of sorting algorithm that runs on different type of architecture, that is CREW, EREW, CRCW. and going on so on and so forth. And then on next unit, we discuss some searching algorithm which can be used to solve searching problem in more complex searching problem in parallel architecture. So again, there are different type of searching algorithm, and these algorithm will be designed for different models of parallel system. And going on further, we study mm, the matrix algorithm, how to design an algorithm to multiply more and more complex matrix operation. We perform number of operations on matrix such as matrix transportation, multiplication, matrix multiplication, and these algorithm will also be designed for different type of parallel architecture. Similarly, we study the other type of matrix operation, that is how to multiply a vector to a matrix, and then uh, we study how to design an algorithm which solve which can be used to find solution of linear equation, and different types of algorithm for finding root finding. Going on, in fifth unit, we study the different types of graph algorithms. So you all know about the different graph algorithm, that is breadth first search, depth first search, and BFS and DFS. And in this subject, we discuss the parallel graph algorithm and how they are different and how they are complex, and what are the complexity, how you can design the algorithm for such problems. And then we see other algorithms, other problems like combinatorial problems, and we design the algorithm for such problem. And then we discuss the algorithm for solving permutation and combination problems, and rearrangement problems. So later on, when we come to these subjects, these topics, we discuss what are these problems. And going on, the suggested books in this subject is one of the book is by Michael J. Quinn, and in this book, this is the book about designing efficient algorithms for parallel computer, and it is published by McGraw-Hill publication. And then there are two more important books, like one book by Celine G. AKL or SGAKL, and that is Design and Analysis of Parallel Algorithms. And same author has also authored another book, that is Parallel Sorting Algorithm. So these three are core books for this subject. So going on, then we come to what is parallel or high performance computing. So I have already told you that traditionally the softwares are designed for serial computation, and these these algorithm to be run on a single computer having single central processing unit. And in this algorithm that is designed to solve a problem, so basically a problem is broken down into series of instruction, discrete series of instructions. And in serial computation, as I have told you, these instruction or programs, the instructions of the program are executed one after another. Only one instruction may execute at any moment in time. So basically, a problem is divided into discrete series of instructions. You can see T1 to Tn, these are number of instruction, and each instruction will take, that is assumption, each instruction will take a unit amount of time. That's why its names is T1, T2, Tn, and so on and so forth. So these instructions are executed one after another. That's why it is known as serial computation. So instructions are executed in serial. So going on, so next we discuss what is parallel or high performance computing. So in simplest sense, we can define parallel or high performance computing as the simultaneous use of multiple computational resource to solve a computational problem. And the algorithm which is designed to solve such a problem to be run using multiple CPU. A problem is broken into discrete parts that can be solved concurrently. Each part is further broken down into discrete series of instructions. Instructions from each part execute simultaneously on different CPU. So you can see in sequential computer, we have a problem and we design the algorithm. The algorithm consists of set of steps, and these steps are written in sequential. Whereas in parallel computer, so this is your problem. On the left hand side, you can see the problem. The problem is divided into discrete parts. Each part is further broken down into discrete series of instructions. Instructions from each part of the problem are executed simultaneously by different CPUs. So you can see the complexity of the problem is broken down into discrete parts. Each part is further broken down into discrete series of instructions. Instructions from each part executed simultaneously by the different CPU. So this is the basic difference between a sequential or serial computer and a parallel or high performance computer. So basically, the way they solve the problem, that is no, that is their merits and demerits. So going on, I have told you about a computational resource. So high performance system can be considered as high performance system when if it is having a single computer with multiple processors. So you all know about initial computer system that I'm not going into the history. So you all know about the basic microprocessor. Then we that is known as 8085, and then we come up with 8086 and 186, 286, 386, 486, Pentium system, and then we come with the dual core processor, then we come with octa core processor, and so on and so forth. And now we have I1, I2, I3, I5, I7, I9 system. And these systems are growing. The computational power of these systems are growing at the rapid rate, and you all know the computational power of a system as earlier prediction that was given by Gordon Moore in 1978, that the computational power of any traditional system will be doubled after every 18 months. So that is a single computer with multiple processor, and then we have an arbitrary number of computers connected by a network, and a high performance system can be combination of both. Going on, then computational problem usually demonstrate characteristics such as the ability to be broken down into discrete pieces of work that can be solved simultaneously, execute multiple program instructions at any moment in time, and these algorithms will be solved in less time with multiple computational resource than with a single computational resource. Going on further, we discuss about evolution of parallel problems. So we are talking about uh, high performance or parallel computing. So parallel computing is an evolution of serial computing that attempts to emulate what has always been the state of affairs in the natural world. Many complex interrelated events happening at the same time but yet within sequence. So we all know real world is massively parallel. So we have seen different type of events that happen in the natural real world. So such events are galaxy formation, planetary movement, weather and ocean pattern, tectonic plate drift, rush hour traffic, automobile assembly line, building a space shuttle, ordering a hamburger at the drive-through. So these are some of the examples of parallel event that happens in natural world. So you can see. Uh, so this is an example of galaxy formation, planetary movement, weather and ocean patterns, rush hour traffic, tectonic plate drift, tornado, automobile assembly line, spacecraft assembly line, and ordering a hamburger at the drive-through. So these are some of the examples of real-world problem which represent massive parallelism. So next we discuss about what are the need for parallel computing. So as I have told you, there is two model of computation: serial computation and parallel computation. But even though Gordon Moore has predicted that the speed of computational power of any processor will be doubled after every 18 months, we came up with different type of computational system such as Pentium and I generation processor and so on and so forth. But whether these systems are fast enough, whether they can be used to solve more complex real world problems. So earlier, the different authority have demanded or predicted different type of computational need. Like for example, British government in 1940 predicted that they would need about 2 to 3 computers only in the later years. And when Sun Microsystem was producing they have predicted that they would. So I think so there is some problem. Let it be. So it's easy now. So Sun Microsystem, which was producing the high performance or supercomputer, in earlier days they have predicted that the whole world would only need about 10 supercomputer. So they does not take it into account of new applications. So real world applications are complex and they require huge computational power. Like for example, I can give you some example of problem. So the next topic uses of parallel computing. So historically, parallel computing has been considered to be the high-end computing and has been used to model difficult scientific engineering problems found in the real world. Some examples like we can use the high performance system for solving problems in atmosphere, earth, environment, in physics, from applied physics to nuclear physics to particle physics to condensed matter physics to high pressure physics, fusion, photonics, and so on and so forth. And there is an upcoming area like biology, bioscience, biotechnology, genetics, and computers are providing solution to number of real world problems. Like earlier, it was considered to be very complex problem. The biological problems or biological modeling are considered to be complex problems, but computer on the later age after 1980 they came up with different algorithm that can be used to provide solution to real world biological problems such as analyzing genetics problem, analyzing the DNA sequences to regenerate human body and so on and so forth. So it can be used in chemistry, in a study of molecular science, a structure of molecular science. And later on, I will give you an example how these complex systems are used to provide solution, how computers are used to provide the solution to such complex system, and in different domains they are providing solution. So like going on, it can be used to provide solution for geological study. It can be used to provide solution for seismological study like earth and other kind of activity in the earth. These system can help us to provide solution for mechanical design problem, from design of automobile assembly to a spacecraft. It can be used to provide solution in designing circuit design. So earlier, we all know that we are using vacuum tube circuit, where electronic circuit were based on vacuum tube diode, and vacuum tube diode were very bulky. It consumes high power and they are not stable as compared to integrated circuit. Then we came up with integrated circuit, and integrated circuit has revolutionized the development of uh, a very high end circuit, like integrated circuit, like large scale integrated circuit, very large scale integrated circuit, ultra large scale integrated circuit. It can be used to provide solution for microelectronics. It can be used to provide solution to satellite. It can be used to provide solution to antennas and so on and so forth, different type of problems, as well as it can be used to provide solution in computer science or in mathematics. So I will not go into detail. These all you can see from the pictures. Um, how computer can be used to provide a solution to more and more complex problems in physics, in electronics, in mechanical design. You can see the wheel, parts of mechanical body of automobile system, how it can be used to analyze the brain system. We can analyze the genes, genetics, and other type of human structure system like DNA and other. Uh, so going on, we discuss some traditional problems computers can be used for weather simulation and prediction, climate modeling, chemical and physical computing. It can be used to provide solution for new problems like collaborative work environment. It can be used to provide solution for analyzing the DNA sequencing of human genomes. It can have plenty of application in artificial intelligence and such as in the field of virtual reality. Virtual reality is an upcoming area which is nowadays it can be utilized in all kind of application like medical fraternity is already using virtual reality for performing different types of complicated cancer operation, different type of heart transplant operation, or they are using it for analyzing the intricate structure of human body, and they are using the virtual reality to identify the different type of disease in human body through application of virtual reality. And further it can be used in many types of entertainment industry nowadays. With the pandemic effect, you can see we are not able to go in the real market. So all different type of online shopping uh, people are coming with some kind of application where they allow the user to visit any type of shops in a form of virtual. So they can enter, the people can enter into the shop, they can check the dresses, and they can, so it has lot of application, and you all know about different application. And like for example, Google search and other type of search engine which is used frequently by the human, frequently by the people. And people are using banking system, and the people are using UPI and payment system for frequent transactions of money from one user to another, from user to business, from business to business, and so on and so forth. And these are very complex system, and they require some type of database which manage all type of transactions for their record. So it is difficult to manage such type of transactions which is happening in millions and millions transactions per second. So they need some type of sophisticated software to handle such kind of system. And going on, we talk about the games. So today, you all know the people are addicted with many type of online games like PUBG, Fortnite, and other type of online games. And PUBG is very popular. You all know PUBG has been played by thousands and thousands of user online, and they are using a more realistic approach. However, we are not concerned with whether it is banned or not, but they have demonstrated the capability how games is changing the world. And so earlier, we have different types of gaming platform. Like earlier, we used to play the games on a standalone system. It can be on TV in form of the games were put in memory card, and memory card is inserted in the some type of game playing system. And these type of games were very nav, and they cannot perform complex operation. So it's like just like a game. And when the people have when the people want more different types of games, then they will. And like we have earlier games like Mario, and we have games like Prince of Persia, and they come up as a bundled software in your computer, in your desktop computer. And then we used to play these games with floppy drive. But these games will require very less amount of data. So as the complexity and as the requirement of human grows, the people demanding more and more real world games. And then we came up with the huge storage like compact disk. And then we come up with another type of used storage such as DVD ROM. And going on further, we are using the online games, and we are using a high-end server to accommodate different type of user and perform different type of activity. So another application is the Photoshop application. So which is being utilized for different type of making different type of application. So today, basically, the commercial application provide an equal and greater driving force in the development of faster and faster computers. These applications require processing of large amount of data in a sophisticated ways. For example, if we talk about the graphical problems, whether in games or in different application, or say when we analyze human brain image, or when doctors analyze the complicated internal body structure, and for treating patient of cancer disease or other type of disease. So these type of images are very high graphics images. They comes in volume, and these are not a simple image, but these image consist of huge amount of data, and these data consist of volume of elements like such image consist of 10 to power 9 volume elements, and each element required to perform 200 number of operation. And while performing these operations, they should be displayed in real time. So when we try to model a software for weather and climate modeling, so we need to collect huge amount of data. For example, we collect at least 10 years of data, and in order to create a simulation to predict weather and climate modeling, it involves 10 to power 16 number of operations. And you all know that to accurately predict the real time weather report, we can improvise the performance of such system by involving more and more operation. And to perform such operation, we need a high performance system. So these are some examples of high performance system. So today we stop here, and this is some of the application uh, which has actually drive the human to develop faster and faster systems. And these applications are required to process huge amount of data, and these huge amount of data cannot be processed on a sequential computer and algorithm which is of such a complex type of nature. So we need a high performance system. So going on, like you can see the example of DNA analysis and genetic analysis, and you can see the example of real graphics application, whether it can be applied in a real game, like you have seen the PUBG and other type of games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or other type of game. And it can be used to analyze the molecular structure of any matter or atoms or other type of things. So yeah, we have already discussed it can be used to solve many type of problems, like in database, data mining, oil exploration, web search engine, web-based business services. We can use high performance system to provide solution for medical imaging and diagnosis, pharmaceutical design, management of national and multinational corporations, financial and economic modeling, and advanced graphics and virtual reality, particularly in the entertainment industry, network video, for example, game playing, and multimedia technology, collaborative work environment. So today we stop here, and on in next lecture we discuss about why we use parallel or high performance system. So thank you all for listening, and give your feedback when we come to the class. So thank you very much.